My name is Eleanor Grace Whitmore. I'm 68 years old. For nearly 5 decades, I was a wife, a mother, and the quiet heart behind Hazelbrook Orchards, our small organic apple farm in Pennsylvania. 3 weeks ago, I buried my husband, Richard. We were married since 1981. We built everything together, the land, the business, the home. And yet, the morning after his funeral, I realized, maybe I hadn't built the family I thought I had. Richard died of pancreatic cancer after 14 long months. He didn't want our children to know. He said, "Let them live free of the shadow," and I agreed. But the truth is, they were already distant. Our son Darren became a successful Boston financier. He hadn't been home for more than a few weekends in a decade. Samantha bounced from one failed wellness scheme to another, always turning to her father for money. I thought losing their father might bring them back. Not just home but back to the heart. Instead, when they came for the funeral, I didn't see grieving children. I saw business attire and calculation. The morning after the funeral, I made coffee in our worn kitchen. They came down dressed like bankers. Darren opened a folder and told me they'd decided I should sell the orchard, move to a retirement community, and let them handle the estate. I was stunned. They spoke of practicality, of my age, of a developer offering $7 million to bulldoze everything Richard and I built. Then Darren slid a will across the table, on his own business letterhead, with Richard's signature, neat and perfect. Too perfect. Richard hadn't signed his name clearly in months because of morphine. They told me to be reasonable. But something rose in me then, a quiet fire. I asked to see the will. I didn't sign anything. I told them I was going to bed. But I knew something was very wrong. The next morning they packed a suitcase for me. Told me they'd drive me to just tour a retirement community. Halfway there, Darren pulled onto a gravel road. "This is where you get off, Mom." He left me on the side of the road with the suitcase. Not a hug. Not even a goodbye. They thought they left me with nothing. But I had everything I needed. In my purse, behind a little panel in our old medicine cabinet, I had the deed to 20 acres of orchard land, purchased in my maiden name before marriage. The only land with water rights. The heart of the farm. They didn't know it existed. I walked 2 miles to the nearest store. Ray Miller, an old friend, let me use the phone. I called our lawyer, Harold Jennings. When I told him everything, he examined the deed and said, "This is gold. They can't sell anything without this." The will Darren had presented was a forgery. Harold filed an injunction the next day. The sale was frozen. The developer backed out. The orchard could not be touched. My children panicked. Samantha texted, "Mom, please call. We can fix this." No apology, just fear of losing money. I didn't answer. I rented a small apartment over the bakery in town. It smelled like cinnamon and fresh bread. I started teaching quilting again. Gardening workshops at the library. People listened, not because I raised my voice but because I carried history in my hands. I donated the water rights to a local agricultural cooperative, so that land will always stay in farming. Darren and Samantha kept their distance. Their reputations in their big city lives have suffered. I didn't need revenge. I just needed truth. Hazelbrook Orchard still stands, blossoming like it always has. I often think about that moment on the gravel road. It should have broken me, but it didn't, because I remembered who I was. Before I was a wife, a mother, a widow, I was Eleanor Grace, a woman who built something with her hands, heart, and mind. If you have ever been cast aside or underestimated, remember this: strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it walks quietly, firmly, with dignity. My orchard still stands. My name is still on the deed. My life, it's mine again. And to anyone who's ever been told, "This is where you get off," I say, walk if you must, but do not leave your worth behind.